Hey, Wookie here, and we have some brand new news about Dauntless. These are both good and, yeah, mostly good. I don't know. We will see about that. Uh, as of Friday the 8th, they will release a new patch with massive changes both to the combat and progression system, and how matchmaking, and even include a new weapon system, which we will go into deeper details as we go into this video. First of all, there will be a wipe. This is to ensure that everything that gets implemented is actually not messed up, most likely, and chroma cores will be removed. And instead of chroma cores, you will be rewarded 1k platinum tokens if you bought a founders pack to spend in the store. Champion boosts have also been reworked to boost and fill up your ether core points faster, and we will delve even more into that even later in this video. So going into one of the first updates I want to talk about is the Hunter board. The Hunter board has now been reworked. It works on a system that's both patrol and specific monster behemoth hunts. Patrol will include every region available behemoth that can be Nasser Strikes, Charog, and a few others. After doing a few of these patrol missions, you will be then able to hunt a specific behemoth. I'm not 100% sure how this works, but how I interpreted it is that you will be able to hunt these specific behemoths after a few tries or a few hunts of the region one. You will then be able to hunt specific behemoths. You will be grouped with people that are hunting with random patrolling mission yet, so it will decrease the waiting time or matchmaking system for you to actually find a party and actually go out on the hunt, which for me is a good thing. I have a lot of the time just been solo hunting because there's not a lot of available people for doing the hunts I want to do, and the rewards will be varying depending on what you're doing. After completing a hunt, you will obtain more than one thing. You will first of all obtain something called Slayer rank points. These points are awarded for completing patrols, hunt of specific behemoths, and quests. More of these points you gain, the higher rank you will get, and the higher rank you will get, the more quests you can explore and new region you will unlock. These are not the only thing that seems to be new. There's also new daily and weekly timed hunt to challenge the Slayer. And if you want to see your current rank, you can open your menu by pressing escape, for instance. As a side note, there should be a pre-hunt lobby on the ship where you can modify your loadout before you're going into a hunt with your teammates. This is kind of like if you have a full team of Chainblade, for instance, then you're gonna go up against Skarn, one of the new behemoth. It would have been potentially better for one of you or another or two of you to actually go at different weapons that you can actually be more effective against Skarn. More. So when we now get to the hunts, when you reach the island, you will notice there's more resources, or at least more resource nodes. They will yield less, but they are instant pickup, so you will spend less time gathering and more time hunting. The second thing that you will most likely notice is that you will have damage numbers. These also have four colors to differentiate what they actually do. White damage is damage you deal to the behemoth. Blue damage is stagger damage that you deal to the behemoth. Works especially good against head and legs. You will deal red damage, which makes limbs and parts that are breakable more vulnerable to other attacks like slashing. Slashing will be more suitable for breaking and severing tails and stuff like that. And if you do not like this, to have these numbers, you can turn them off. There's nobody forcing you to see these. Another huge thing that you'll see in this patch is weapon and armor progression has also gotten a huge update. As I mentioned earlier, there's something called Cell now. Cell is something that you can put into your weapons and armor. Each armor and weapon can have a different amount of sockets on them and what sockets can be put on them. This means that certain weapons will have certain abilities that other weapons will not have. So these cells can range in varied effects like more health, more movement, faster mana regen, and stamina. This is no MMO with mana. Where is this coming from? And you can also upgrade specific weapons to get better effects of them. This means that if you really want to go in for a certain style of hunting, you can now go into that, possibly making all of the weapons way more viable than they actually were. Like, do you really want to be this fast hammer guy? Go for it. Do you want to be this slow ass chainblade user for some reason? Go for it. If you want to be a godlike stagger, you can go down that road. You can tailor this cell system way better than you could in the current patch that's before this. They say there is over 200 cells, and there's more to come with. And I'm really excited to test out this future. And I'm just really hyped about this. On the other side of notes, there's two new behemoths. One seems to enter pretty early, and one seems to be one of the later ones. Karabak, or whatever he's spelled, is a fast flying agile behemoth. He's aiming for speed and precision. That's not the only thing he can do. If you group up, you might have a bad time. And as the fights go on, he might seems to be going faster and faster. Maybe you need to figure out something about this behemoth to slow it down. The other behemoth is Skarn, or I always like to call it the armored behemoth. Skarn is pretty much the exact opposite of Karbak. He likes to stand still. He wants the hunters to come to him. He wants to furiously and viciously attack you with stones and boulders. So if you want to have a fun avalanche thrown at your face, just go head first against Skarn and you will have a pleasant surprise of attacks. And going back to damage type can actually be very useful against Skarn, as going as for chain blades, for axe, or for anything except hammer might prove more difficult boss than it should be. A hammer deals blunt damage, he has stones on him, the blunt damage will actually break the stone more easily. So having a proper weapon configuration against certain behemoth will actually make certain behemoth fight a lot easier. You can go on more links to read about these behemoths. I will provide them underneath here. But let's go to what excites me the most. But also it's kind of sad. There's a little too lit or too little information for my taste. But I will show some video at least. The Warpike, the new weapon. I have mentioned it more than once in this video already. It's useful for its new power. It's dealing piercing damage, which will make limbs and certain parts of a behemoth more vulnerable to taking damage for parts, which will make breaking parts more easily. We don't have much more information on how the combos or what works, but that sweet special effects seem to be some sort of laser beam attack that just seems quite fun to use, in my opinion, to use. Other than that, poke, poke, poke. And I will leave you with some videos before ending this. Wookie out. did said I was going out and I was done, but here's a quick little extra thing. There's a lot of more quality of life changes and other bug fixes and other changes that if you want to read, I will provide the links down under in the description.